Hey guys, what's up? Matt here. Welcome to another video today. So what I'm going to be talking about, right, is a lot of times I want to talk about multi-channel marketing. Now I know this is like, hey Matt, you're a sales guy. It's like, no, this is really important for you sales guys to understand the marketing channels that are coming in so that you can have a bit of an expectation and know how to process out your sales a bit better. And for the business owners that are watching, the importance of having multi-channel marketing and kind of what I mean by that and what you need to have in place to do it effectively. Okay. So make sure if you do like this kind of content, you like, subscribe, hit notification bell, all that kind of good stuff, and we'll cue the intro. All right, guys. So multi-channel marketing. Okay. So what do I mean by that? I was recently having a discussion with a guy who ran all of the marketing and sales, which is like a traditional CMO position for a large conglomerate, alcohol conglomerate called Aldemec, right? And what I learned is the CMO's traditional role is runs all of sales and all of marketing, right? So the head of sales, head of marketing report up to the CMO, right? And one of the clear, really important functions is the channel management. So if we have a look at Coca-Cola as a company, right? So Coca-Cola's internal mandate is an arm's reach away from desire, right? So I want you guys to picture that, an arm's reach away from desire. Coke has one main product, right? Being Coca-Cola, right? But they have different distribution networks. So each distribution network is considered a different channel, right? So like if you're in the coaching and consulting world, you might have market, you might have LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, etc., right? But what they have is they have vending machines, right? So I don't know if you've ever noticed, you might pay $4 for a 600 ml Coke at a vending machine. And then you might pay $2 for that same 600 ml Coke at a shopping center, right? And then you might pay $1 for a 1 liter Coke, okay? And that's going to be at your local, grocery store, right? So these are all different mechanisms how you can get the product, okay? So those are your different channels. So they have specific people for gas stations or petrol stations, right? They have specific distribution networks and people monitoring all their vending machines and yada, yada, yada. And so this comes down to like channel management, having multiple marketing channels. So what I try and think about when I'm going into a business consulting or helping with their sales, their marketing, whatever, is like, okay, what are the channels and like, what are we trying to get from each channel? Like, because if I'm trying to send the same message out to TikTok as I am on YouTube, like it's a different person and there's a different context. Like, have you ever noticed how you would never text someone at 11 p.m., but you'd probably send them an email, right? Or you can send Facebook messages early in the morning, but you can't call them, right? So like there's all these different like accepted norms that we get on different platforms because how we talk to each other and interact and the acceptedness of the behavior is different on per platform. So we need to have that in our marketing plans. Like, what are we trying to get out of TikTok? What are we trying to get out of YouTube? What are we trying to get out of doing a podcast? What are we trying to get out of XYZ? And where are we going to send those people? And what is the outcome that we want? There are essentially two types of marketing. There is reach-based marketing and conversion-based marketing. Okay, so some channels are going to be purely for reach, right? All they want to do is get the brand out. There's a reason why Coke sponsors F1 cars and stuff like that. That's reach marketing. Now, conversion marketing is paying to have their stuff placed at the front of a grocery store so you can be an arm's reach away from desire, okay? So these are all things that we need to start to consider when we're having a look at the overall marketing plans for our businesses. Now, as a sales guy, I might be thinking, why do I give a about these people and their marketing plans? It's like, well, you're going to have different interactions with people who come in from different places, right? So you need to have a sales process in place and a way to communicate and an outcome that you're looking for from the interactions that you're having based off where they come from. If people are coming from a lead magnet, I'm not going to try and close them on the first call. If people are coming from a Facebook group where they've been nurtured and set by a setter, I would probably try and close them on the first call. There's some variables in that too. But like, again, it's still a lead, but they're coming through a different metric. So it's like, I'm going to have a different process and I'm going to have acceptable variances into what works and what doesn't based off where they are. So as the sales guy, you really need to have an understanding of where all your leads are coming from, because this is how we're going to start to dictate our own sales process. And as the business owner, right, you want to have a plan for all these things, and you want to have your reach-based mechanisms and your conversion-based mechanisms, okay? So as a plan, as an overall, what we want to do is go, okay, Like, what's the goal for YouTube? Me as a business owner, I'm not looking to convert you off YouTube. I'm just trying to get reach, right? This is a reach-based conversion. This is a reach-based platform. I'm giving away content for free in the hopes that then you establish me as an expert within your little world, right? And then from there, you can then slipstream into something where it can end in a monetary transaction. Now, I don't have a lot of things to sell you. So for me, I do it, one, because I like it, two, because it's great for long-term branding, because I'm thinking very long-term, because I think if I do this for 10 years, then I'll have a great following and it'll kind of all work itself out. And then also, like, it kind of, we do have some stuff to sell, but it ensures a great lead flow for our done-for-you sales. Because those of you who don't know, my main business is, one, coaching sales through 7th level, which you can check out at salesrevolution.group, or you can go to crushsales.net, and that's kind of where we do the sales for people, right? It's called Sales Sniper. That's what we do, right? So if you want to go to crushsales.net, then we can chat about doing your sales for you, right? But whenever I come onto a business, whenever we're consulting or doing sales, it's always like, okay, what are your channels? How are you managing them? What's the goal for this? What's the goal for that? Because my job as a sales guy is to put in like different sales processes for different channels. And so for YouTube, like, I don't really have a conversion mechanism for this. This is just reach. So like, I'm not going to like put any real effort into doing a lot of the things that I would do. But for like a Facebook group, right, then I'm going to have very, very clear conversion mechanisms to make sure that I get people into that group. And then from there, where they go and what they do, because I'm going to be putting a lot of money into that. The takeaway for the video, you need to really sit down and figure out what you're trying to do out of each platform. You need to have multiple platforms, because otherwise, like, your entire business is linchpinned off one guy's, like Mark Zuckerberg. If you're only doing Facebook, it's like you're just relying on Zuckerberg being a nice guy and keeping the platform open, right? It's not necessarily going to be the case. If you're only doing YouTube, it's like, okay, you know what I mean? You got to do multiple platforms to give yourself an element of redundancy within your business, to where, like, if something goes down, you're fine, right? And then figure out, are you doing reach or conversion? If you're doing, then what are the metrics of success look like for each one? And then what's your sales process for each different channel going to be to ensure that you maximize those to the best degree? All right, guys, if you did like this kind of content, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that kind of good stuff. Go to crushsales.net if you want us to do your sales for you, and I'll speak to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.